Welcome back. Still to come this morning, Dr. Rada's here to get to the bottom of those health stories, including how eating curry could be good for your heart. Plus, are you a good liar? If the answer's no, then stay tuned to find out the telltale signs that might be giving you away. That's if you want to be a good liar, obviously. Adelphia Marie says, excuse me, at the moment I'm lying to my work colleagues about what I'm going to do after I graduate. I work part-time for a bank, but will actually be leaving in the summer to start a PGCE. Good luck with that. And some people confessing things that are quite important. Colin Foster in the West Midlands says, every time the ice cream van comes to our estate and blasts out its music, my daughter begs for ice cream, so I came up with the idea of telling her the music means that he's run out of ice cream and sweets for the day. Problem solved. And Lauren in Newcastle says, I've lied to my mum about the length of time I plan to go travelling because I don't want to upset her. She knows now as well, Lauren. Thank you very much for all of those. My next guest describes himself as the fastest man on two wheels, and he'll be hoping the huge weight of expectation doesn't slow him down when he rides in the road race at this summer's Olympics. Having missed out on a medal in Beijing 4 years ago, Mark Cavendish, who is the current Sports Personality of the Year, hopes to put that disappointment behind him by striking gold in London. Please welcome the Manx missile himself, Mark Cavendish. Hello, lovely to see you. How many times a day do you get asked, how excited are you about the Olympics?
Quite a lot at the minute, actually, yeah.
Are you bored of talking about it?
That's all right. I think everybody's excited, you know. It's the biggest sporting event in the world, and it's here in London, so... No, I think it's good to be excited, you know.
No,
I've got a lot before, actually.
I actually want to ask you the obvious question. With 4 months out, how excited are you about the Olympics? But I won't ask you, because I can tell. But 4 years ago, it didn't quite go to plan, did it, in Beijing? And you... I don't know whether it was self-defence or you were a bit younger then, but you seemed to kind of say, oh, well, the Olympics doesn't matter in the scheme of things. Have you changed your mindset?
I guess so, yeah. I think I just meant it doesn't mean much in the scheme of cycling. As a cyclist, it wasn't a professional. The Olympics was for amateurs till 96, till Atlanta, and so it wasn't really. There was a lot more history and traditional races
Tour de
in
France,
cycling.
yeah, Giro d'Italia.
But now, you know. I pull on it. So then, yeah, I was wanting to be big in the world of cycling, you know. But I kind of forgot my roots. I forgot that, you know, I'm proud to be British. I'm proud to pull on a jersey that represents my country, to ride under my flag, you know. And so, yeah, I think it just took it to come home really to realise that. Well, it's a big thing.
Well, also, I think people in this country, I mean, certainly there is a cycling bug. In the last, 4 to 8 years or so, it's become huge. But I think in, professional cycling terms, in France and Spain, you guys are as big as footballers, aren't you? I mean, superstars. So it's people in this country kind of don't always get, do they, just how big you are?
Not really, but then
outside.
I said, when I first got nominated for Sports Personality, I said on record, yeah, I'll never win it. I'm a cyclist, I'll never win it.
So do you think that's how far cycling's come?
Well, in 3 years, you know, it really is. I think a lot more people are riding bikes, whether they're riding to work, whether they're doing it of a hobby, you know. They know what it is to pedal round, you know, and so they can appreciate riding around 3,500 kilometres around France for 3 weeks now, you know what I mean? So,
and pushing it when you go up the hills a bit.
Yeah.
And then pushing it even more on the flat at the end. But I think that is that concept. You're right. I think until you maybe try something, you don't realise just how difficult it is. But also, I think the success of Beijing for the team, the cycling team, did seem to elevate the sport into,
Oh, absolutely.
The likes of Victoria Pendleton becoming a household name, and Chris Hoy, obviously, as well.
Yeah, we've been successful on the velodrome. The road cycling's a bit different, but obviously the word cycling was out there, and we had a great ambassador with Chris Hoy. You know, he's such a nice man that, you know, he was there.
Because you don't always come over, or you haven't, as the nice guy. You don't mind being kind of a little bit...
Not really, I think just...
You just kind of... You've got that... Well, I think it's great. It's determination. It's almost an arrogance.
No, I've worn my heart on my sleeve since I was young. I don't believe in trying to hide your emotions and trying to hide anything you feel, you know. And when you're young, especially, like, it can be picked up. First impressions are a big thing, whether that's with the media, whether that's with individuals or what.
I think Brits have always found that slightly, not just in you, but people find that in this country slightly difficult to comprehend. And in a way, it's very Latin, isn't it? It's very kind of, a lot of the cycling community to say what you feel and, and get out there. But now people seem to be turning on to that, don't they? And they're enjoying that kind of attitude.
I guess so. Well, I guess, we're successful in a lot of things now, and I think, if people can buy into success and they can have something to support, then they will. And yeah, cycling becoming obviously more mainstream now. We have our own team with Team Sky, that people have a thing to to support now. We're not just a group of bike riders. Just around the world. And
how important was that for you, joining Team Sky? And
it was massively important. It's a British team. It's got all the people I grew up with, riders and staff, and it's the biggest team in the world right now. So it was always something I wanted to do. And
when you were a kid, and I think your first bike was a BMX, wasn't it, when you were in the Isle of Man? At that point, when you knew you could pedal well and you were good at this, did you say, right, I'm going to be a professional cyclist?
Yeah, I think, well, I started, not really when I was young, but when I got to about 11, I started riding my bike more racing, and within a couple of years, when I was 13, I kind of knew I was good, you know, and I started to take my options at school, and the biggest team in the world at the time was a German team, and I learned German at school because I wanted to ride for that team, and
how's your German?
Things like that. It's all right. I've forgotten a bit. But,
not as handy as you thought it was going to be, though.
Well, no, it was all right. Like, I rode for that team. Like, it's a team I started my career with, so...
So it's good, so it worked out in the end. So when you get on the tour and you're out there... I read David Miller's biography recently, and it's quite shocking if you didn't know much about what goes on the tour. And, you know, it took him a long time to succumb to the pressures and took drugs, obviously. That's what the book's all about, his kind of, you know, experiences. When you joined the tour, were you worried about that you would be sucked into that really hardcore professional kind of environment and not be able to say no? No,
not at all. I think you're not really, you're not really, you think about it or not, you don't plead ignorance, you don't, like, want ignorance, if you don't think about something, like, nothing comes to it, you know. I think I'm more for defending cycling, you know. I've done it right, and I think everybody's doing it right now, and the majority of people are doing it right.
Do you feel that?
Absolutely. I think cycling gets a bad name, you know. I think cycling...
It was rife, though, Mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you're telling me in other sports, in other aspects of life, cheating's not rife. You know, you're going to get... You're saying it like that, you know, there's a kid that's a cheat, he steals from the shop when he's little, then he cheats in his exams at school. You're putting it like, oh, he's a cheat, he's going to be a cyclist. No, it doesn't work like that. There's cheaters, there's people who break the rules in every aspect of life. Now, if you put the time, the effort, the money, in every aspect of entertainment, in business, in politics, in sport, from any nation, if you put the time, the effort and the money into finding the cheats, you will do it. Now, because there's no positive tests in other sports, does that mean there's no cheats in other sports? No, it doesn't. It means the other sports care about the image of the sport, the franchise of the sport, more than a clean and fair sport. Cycling wants a clean and fair sport, so obviously it is going to tarnish the image of the sport, but they want to get rid of the cheats, they want to get rid of the people who have disregard for the other sportsmen. So you can argue this is the cleanest sport right now. Because of what it went through, though. Because it's put every single resource it has into combat and doping. Is it, you know, when you obviously didn't race in the period when David Miller was first there and stuff, but, you know, it must have been tough for those guys who wanted to stay clean, thinking, I can't talk for that. I've raced since I turned professional in 2000. And you never think about it at all, never think about who you're lining up against and what they might be doing, or... Well, I've been successful, so I don't need to think and worry about anything. So. How much does it hurt? How much does it hurt, the pain that you go through? I mean, just, you know, can you put it into words? And you have to push yourself just that bit further when you've got... I don't know, it's kind of like, there's this red line that your body can take, and you have to go to that as long as possible, and it's not somebody dishing out to you, you have to dish it out to yourself. But I don't know any different. That's the thing, I think... The hills on the Isle of Man set you up well, didn't they? Yeah, they did. If you're not the wind and the rain. If you're not going uphill, you're going downhill into a headwind, you know? It seems to be... It doesn't matter what way you do the Isle of Man, you'll always be into a headwind there. But that's great. When you're standing there with your lovely girlfriend, who you're about to become a father with, and you got your MBE, and, you know, you're at Buckingham Palace, do those mornings on the hills flash back in your mind from when you're a 15, 16-year-old? I think anything that you achieve... puts everything, all the work you've put into it, into perspective, you know. I think there's nothing you savor more than succeeding in anything you do, and that's only comes with hard work, you know. So I think every time you have to step over the bike, every time you have to make a sacrifice, it's all put in good context when you're the best that you can be and the best that anybody else can be, you know. So. You've got so many amazing things that have happened to you, especially in the last year, and becoming a dad, obviously, is, you know, it's a landmark in anyone's life, isn't it, the first time you become a father? I think anything I've ever achieved, anything I will ever achieve on my bike don't come close to the pride I feel for this. You know, it's a week away now, I'm excited, a little bit nervous, but yeah, it's incredible. It's the best feeling. I think everybody tells you, oh, you won't know a feeling until you have kids, but you don't really pay much attention to. It's something that you can't imagine, you can't think about. It just comes.
It's coming.
Naturally
It's coming. It's going to change your world. And you're an ambassador, of course, to the Olympics as well, which takes up a bit more of your time.
Yeah, I've been working with Procter & Gamble in the run-up to the Olympics, and yeah,
selling the Olympic message.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it's an easy job to sell at the moment, isn't it? There is a lot of enthusiasm. You can feel it kind of bubbling.
Oh, there really is. Like I said before, everybody's excited about it. I hope so. I think there will be people kick off about the roads being closed, but get on your bike. You know, it's quicker. It's actually a good mode of transport. So, yeah, no, it's wicked. I think you can see the legacy.
You cycle past the end of my road, actually, on the route.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I'll be over at the village. I'll be working. But, yeah, get out and support that road race as well.
Honestly, it'd be a wicked sport to watch.
And it's a free one as well. You can go out for free, can't you? You don't have to have a ticket for it.
That's what makes it beautiful. You can get within touching distance of the athlete.
But don't touch him. You know? Certainly don't throw a bottle or anything, because he'll be very upset about that. Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for talking so gamely across a range of subjects. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
We will be so much rooting for you this summer, but not more so than next week. Rooting for you next week, and Peter as well, because that's a very big moment for you. After the break, Dr. Rada is here to tell us why getting out in the sunshine could be vital for our health. We all know that, don't we? But she'll tell us exactly why. Plus, we'll be finding out how you can spot a liar. I'll show you after the ads.